welcome to One-on-One on CHCO Television. I'm your host, John Higgins. Awful good to be with you today. I am in the coolest place that, well, I can't say I've never been in before, but I am at the St. Croix Public Library. And I am with Grace Stairs. She's the acting director of the library. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You've done quite a job.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I want to tell Grace, I want to tell you one thing I love about doing this, okay? I get to go to a lot of places. And a lot of places that I go to, once I'm there and I'm being shown around, told this is what we do, okay? I'm always, holy cow, I didn't know they did all that.
Yeah.
And this is a real good example. My goodness. Well, we're going to hear all about it. But first of all, how did you get into this? Did you start reading books when you were like 3?
Yeah. So like, I have said in a few different like essays and cover letters and things, like I feel like I grew up in libraries.
Right.
My mom is a school teacher, so
Okay.
from a very young age, she like very much encouraged me and my siblings to read. And that kind of led me to like, once I was choosing my own books to read, to figuring out where to go for that, which I grew up in Sussex, and the only place to get books there really is the library.
Exactly.
So I spent a lot of time there when I was like especially passionate about reading.
Really?
Yeah, and then they had a like summer student position come up for the summer reading club. So I applied for it as soon as I knew about it, and then from there I just kind of like, you know, I would come back every summer, and then during the COVID lockdowns, I was an on-call clerk, like pretty regularly there because they needed the extra people to cover all the extra time off and things.
Yeah.
And then my director at the time actually encouraged me to go to the library science program at one of the like 5 schools in Canada that offers it.
Yeah.
So once I went through with that, like they almost immediately called me when I was about to graduate being like, hey, we heard you're almost done. Do you want to like come back to the New Brunswick Public Library system and see what we can find to like fit you somewhere? Which was really exciting because like I felt like everything was kind of set up for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we say free public library, that's what it means.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
And we actually recently made our libraries fine free. So if you're like a couple days late on a library book, we no longer charge you those daily late fees.
Right.
Yeah. So even that end of things, like you only have to worry about getting a charge if you lose one of our books or if you damage them beyond reuse.
Yeah.
And at that
Which
point,
is only
like,
understandable. You know.
yeah, like it is important to respect someone else's property kind of thing.
Do people come in, grab a book, and just go sit quietly where you can, in here, wherever?
Not very often.
Really?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of people come in to read. We have quite a few regulars who come in just to read our newspapers because we do get the Telegraph Journal and the St. Croix Courier still regularly.
Oh, okay.
So they will come in to read the papers, but usually if someone comes in to read a book, it'll be like a young adult or a child who like is, you know, using time while their parent like looks for other books to read.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah.
So truly. Now, a library is a place of learning, am I right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Learning. But it's also a place of fun.
Yeah, 100%.
You guys make it fun. You have different programs to make it fun. So tell me about some of your programs. You've got the, I know it's a story time.
Yeah.
That's quite a hit.
Yeah, so we currently have a weekly preschool storytime program. It's
Right.
for ages like 3 to 5. It is open to the public if anyone's interested. It's Friday mornings. And for that, we will just like read a couple stories. We'll do a couple nursery rhymes, maybe have a craft and an activity. We've started having snack time. So
Really?
the person who runs it has become very like passionate about it. So she will always like try and make it a cute like craft or snack that's associated with the activities. So like last week they had like kind of Christmas theme for the week, and she made these adorable like skewers that had like a grape and then a Santa hat made out of a strawberry. Like, yeah, they're very sweet.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So it is. The reason I know about Storytime is my daughter, Lana Button. Not to get a plug in. No.
Plug her away.
No.
She's great.
But she She does story time. She's home generally in August. She comes home and she always does a story time here. She loves that. She
Yeah, and it's always popular. Like people are really happy to have her here.
yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
So also adult crafts.
Yeah, so we're trying to have them more regularly, but we haven't quite been able to swing it lately. We did last month have someone from the community come in, offer to run a like card making activity.
Yes.
And we wanted to have her in like as soon as possible. So we made time in November to have her come teach a small group how to make like some holiday cards that she had like.
Now these small
templates for.
groups, these are groups of young children? Or?
So this particular one was a group of adults.
Oh, okay, yes,
Yeah.
adult crafting.
Yeah, exactly. We posted it on our Facebook page to like kind of get the word out of like, hey, if you want to do this, space is limited because we only have so many supplies, but feel free to call or stop in and you can sign up. And everyone except for like one person who signed up came, and they were all really excited and happy to come home with some cards. Yeah.
The kids, they always are so happy. They have a good time here, don't
Exactly,
they? And
yeah.
the kids, the younger children, they get right into the books when it's during the story time. Am I right?
Oh,
I've seen-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice when it's a book that like has a lot of repetitive elements because oftentimes they'll like pick it up and start saying it along with the readers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always nice.
Computers,
Yes.
they're here.
Yes, we have lots of public access computers that people can just come in and hop right onto. If you have a library card, you do like need a number and a PIN to sign into them, but you can also ask for a guest pass at the desk to sign in pretty easily. But once you're there, you have pretty free reign of the internet. You can use our printing service.
And you do
And
have
lots of things
so
like
you can
that.
print what you're.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, whatever you're working on, like we've had people come in and print off like receipts. Some people come in to print off like crafting patterns. We have some people who come in and like will just kind of scroll for a while and print off pictures that they stumble upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
That's amazing. You said you have the Telegraph and the St. Croix Courier. You get those. Do people come in just to drop in just to read the paper?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's one person who we almost always, like, we close at lunch, just so that it's easier for us to, like, make the time to have a lunch break.
Yeah.
And there's one person who is almost always here, and we have to be like, hey, just so you know, like, we are actually closing right now.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's always nice to see him.
that is good.
Yeah.
That is so good. Talk about convenience. Again, here we go. It's a public library.
Yeah,
Located right here in St. Stephen. We're lucky to have this, aren't we?
I think so, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's a nice spot, especially because, like, it is so hard to find free spaces lately.
Yeah.
Where you can just kind of hang out and not worry about having to, like, buy a coffee to
Well,
be allowed to stay.
that's what I'm,
Yeah.
you know, that's what I'm thinking. There's no charge for this.
Yeah,
That's simply amazing.
yeah.
Tic Tac. Am I saying that right? No.
No.
Hackmatack. No.
Yes.
Hackmatack. What in the world is Hackmatack?
So Hackmatack is actually a national book award for children's literature. But we host a Hackmatack book club here, and other libraries also host it. Like I know the Ross Memorial also participates in the Hackmatack program.
Oh, okay.
But they just do it a little bit differently than we do. So every year, a like panel of judges chooses 10 English fiction, 10 English nonfiction, 10 French fiction, and 10 French nonfiction.
Right.
And of those like 40 books, they kind of unleash them onto the public and let these small Hackmatack book clubs vote on which one is their favorite,
Okay.
or which one they consider
Yeah.
the best. So in the end, it's a book award that is awarded by the actual readers of it and not adults who like
I
it's not
see.
necessarily the audience
Actually,
for.
the ones that have read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our book club is a monthly activity for ages 9 to 12. We invite the kids in, we kind of read an excerpt from the book or kind of explain the general like thesis of it, whether it's the nonfiction or the fiction. And then we will usually try and do an activity or a craft related to that
Really?
to kind of like emphasize it and make it like even extra fun.
Exactly.
Because a lot of them are there because they want to like hang out with their friends and do something cool with them. And
Yeah.
it's really nice when they can have a craft to take home with them or like an info sheet to take home with them.
You see them going out the door with the little crafts that they already made.
Exactly. Yeah.
Treasure.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, this is all free. This is all no charge.
Yeah.
It's now research. A lot of people come in to research things.
We have a lot of people use our like microfilm collection of like older newspapers and local records to research like their family histories, especially.
Yes.
Like we've had someone come in pretty regularly from like Eastport trying to get these
Seriously?
older records. Yeah.
Eastport, Maine.
Yes, yeah, because we have some records from like Calais, we have some stuff from St. Andrews, we have some stuff from St. John. We have like quite an arrangement of a collection. We've even we house part of the Charlotte County Genealogical Society's collection.
Yes.
For people to browse as well. It is all things that are expected to stay in the library, like it's part of a reference collection, so
Yes.
it can't be taken home, but we do
I
invite
can understand
people.
that.
Yeah, exactly. We do invite people to like photocopy a page if they want to have that information to take home with them, or they can like scan it to their email so that they can kind of scan it on their own time and not take all the time sitting in front of our computers if they
Yeah.
don't have that time given our hours.
That's amazing
Yeah.
because it's again the things that you don't know that the library offers.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break.
Sure.
Okay, and then when we come back, let's continue on about this awesome place.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back with Grace Spears. Grace is the acting director of the St. Croix Public Library. Right back. Okay, we are back. Grace and I, Grace Spears. Grace is the acting librarian, acting director of the St. Croix Public Library. An amazing, amazing place.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't realize how big it was.
Yeah, it is quite large.
Now, can I ask you, is it always this quiet in here?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, no, not when we have the kids in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We do tend to have like a pretty good noise level going on.
Yes.
And we do have a lot of people who kind of come in, pick up their books and head out.
Yeah.
But I would say we usually have like a good amount of people here.
And again, there's no fee
No,
to take a book out.
no.
Remember, years ago, you took a book out from the library, and if it was overdue, you owed about $3,000 or something.
Sometimes, yeah.
So that's
not
gone.
anymore.
There's
Yeah.
not anymore.
Not at all.
Is there a time limit on how long you can keep the book at home? Or?
Yeah, so we do have like the initial sign out time is 3 weeks, but if no one else has a hold on it, like if no one else has
Yeah.
explicitly said to the system, like I want to read this book, then it'll
Yeah.
automatically renew. So people, like if they have added their email addresses to their
Yeah.
like library card accounts, then they'll get an email 2 days before it's due saying these items can be renewed and these ones can't. So please return the ones that can't, but you can keep the items that can be renewed for another 3 weeks, and then that'll happen again. So you can take them for 3 to 9 weeks without
Really?
having to worry about anything.
So, do you find that there's one type of book, fiction, whatever, blah, blah, that is more popular than another for people to take out? Or is it everywhere? It all depends on them. It all depends.
It really depends on the patron.
Yeah.
Here especially, like we've noticed, like we as in the whole staff have noticed that like mystery novels are pretty popular.
Okay.
And like kind of crime thrillers are quite popular. But we have some patrons who come in and they will take a stack of romance novels home. Or
Seriously?
we have some who will order in like, 10 westerns at a time and like take all those home and then read them in a week and bring them back. Like
Really?
yeah,
That's
it really
amazing.
depends.
Same people, same clients, same patrons, or different? You never.
We have pretty regular
Yeah.
patrons come in,
Yeah.
like almost on a weekly basis.
Really?
It's especially fun to have like parents come in because they'll take home whole like stacks. You can get up to 50 books at a time on your card.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really nice, and it's extra funny when like every person in the family has a card, because then you can have 50 books on this person's card and 50 books on this person's card, which can be a lot to keep track of. A lot of people will like take their checkout slips and kind of pin them to the fridge,
Yeah.
or like have a specific bag dedicated to like these are the library books that need to go back to the library kind
Yeah.
of thing. So that can help them kind of keep things straightened out. But quite often we will have people come in and be like, this book was hidden between 4 newspapers.
Oh, okay.
So please have this back. I hope there's no late fees on it. And we're like, not anymore.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now my cell biographies.
Yes.
And I had a chance to walk around here, and I see you got the biography section down there. Wow.
Yeah.
So how does that work? I want a biography on a certain so-and-so and so-and-so?
So if you have like looked it up ahead of time in either our public catalog, or if you ask us up at the desk, like,
Yeah.
hey, do you have a book about this person? Then we can usually direct you to the right Dewey Decimal number, because all of our nonfiction, including our biographies, are organized by the Dewey Decimal System. Once you kind of know the number, we can super easily direct you to where it is on our shelf, or if like we might not have a book about the person that you're looking for,
Yeah.
but we could say, oh, St. John has it on their shelf, so we can order it in for you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you can get it. If you don't have it right here.
Yeah, we're connected to like over 60 other libraries in the New Brunswick system.
Seriously?
Yeah, so a lot of the time if we don't have a book in our library, even
Yeah.
though it's huge and we have a great collection, we can usually order it in from another library and it'll be here in like a week or two.
Amazing.
And if we don't have it in the whole system, we can even do an interlibrary loan where we get in touch with libraries from like across Canada and see if they have that book available.
Wow. See, these are the things you don't, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's provincial, and that's why everything is offered free, or, you know.
Yeah, like we
it's not
can
here,
afford to
Grace,
run it that
it's not
way.
here to make money.
No, not at all.
That's right.
Yeah, we're
So
here to be a public service.
You're a public service.
Yeah.
That's right. And I
Yeah.
think that's what I really want to emphasize. It, man, this is here for us,
Mm-hmm.
for Charlotte County.
100%. And like I mentioned Ross Memorial earlier, so like they are also connected to the New Brunswick system.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so if you like take out 3 or 5 books from here, then you can return it at the Ross Memorial, or
Oh.
like you can do the same. Because we're all like really quick to just mail books back to the libraries that they belong to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we have fiction. We have research.
Yeah.
We have biographies. Autobiographies?
Yep, those would also end up in the biography section.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. Science fiction.
lots.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
we don't really like separate it out from the regular adult fiction. Like, there's no real genre separation within the fiction area.
Yeah.
But some of them will have like little stickers on them that kind of denote a different genre or not. So like some of the mysteries do, if it's a local author, like a New Brunswick author, some of those have a sticker on them.
Yeah.
Indigenous authors are also like have their little sticker. But some romance novels have it, some science fiction ones have it, just not as consistently.
You know how they have that saying, just go and lose yourself in a book? You could lose yourself forever in here,
100%, yeah.
couldn't you?
Absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So another thing that I just wanted to just go back a little bit is on the research for the family history.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm on my own on that, right?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, so we can kind of like easily present you with the resources that we have, and kind of give you an explanation of like the reference area, because we have like some sections that are like family histories that like regular folk have kind of compiled on their own, but we also have like, you know, the big published books about like the Ganong family is also in our reference section that can be useful for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we are kind of here to like help you find the information, not necessarily find the information for you, unless you're really in a rut and you're like, I just want to find this one obituary, then we might be able to give you an extra step or two for
Well,
it.
if I want to just check on Aunt Ethel a little bit, can I find Aunt Ethel?
I'd like to think so. We have a pretty good genealogy collection, especially like with that partnership that we have with the Charlotte County Genealogical Society.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think we have a pretty extensive set of like all of that information. We are hoping to have a program in the new year that we've been doing like annually for the Family History Night. We have applied for a grant to get the Ancestry.com like library edition so that we can share it with people and help them find more like digital records that we might not have here, that, you know, the Toronto Public Library might have this whole list of like all these extra stuff that we could more easily access through Ancestry.
Wow, that's
that makes sense.
amazing. With the connections that you have though too. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
but
We try to keep them
absolutely
up.
fantastic. Again, What are your hours?
So we are currently open from 2 to 4 and 5 to 8 on Tuesdays.
Right.
And then Wednesday to Saturday, we're open 10 to 12 and then 1 to 5.
Okay. So the evenings, yeah, that, so the ones until 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, just
that's
Tuesdays.
for classes, or that's for, no, that's just the regular?
No, that's just our regular hours.
Really?
We are hoping to do like family history night during that time.
Yeah.
And we'd really like to have like some teen activities during that time, since that's when they're more likely to be free.
Yeah.
We just haven't like managed to plan stuff out quite yet.
A lot into the planning? Is it?
It can depend.
Yeah.
Because I know like some libraries will just kind of, you know, put out board games and be like, we're having a board game night at the library, come play.
Okay.
But there's other stuff that like we have to prepare crafting materials, or we have to make sure we have like this many staff members to help out, or like we have to make sure that this equipment is in good enough shape to be used by the public. So it can depend prep time, how long things will take, or how much you need to plan ahead.
How many employees?
So there's 3 full-time employees.
Really?
Yeah, including me.
Including you? Mm-hmm. So, wow, that's good.
Yeah, we were for a very long time a 2-person library.
Yeah.
With just 2 full-time staff, but the province, I don't know if you guys would have seen the news, but they recently like recognized the, you know, strength of the library as a public service. So they chose quite a few different libraries that they recognized needing extra staff, and we were one of them. So we got that 3rd position like just in October.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Very exciting.
I would say Charlotte County is very fortunate to have this.
I'd like to think
Wouldn't
so.
you that? You know,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say that? Because it's,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of places don't. A lot don't have a library at all, do they?
Yeah, and some communities will have like smaller community libraries that aren't like sponsored, I'll say, by the province.
Yes.
Or aren't, you know, they don't function in partnership with the province. They're just the municipality. So I feel like we're extra lucky to still have that and be able to maintain that partnership with the province, because that does let us have like a bigger budget for books, a better
Yeah.
budget for staff.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot more open hours compared to a lot of those community libraries. Not to disparage them, because they are also an invaluable service.
Yeah.
But I just know that we're very lucky to have like that extra.
I guess.
Yeah.
And people use it, Grace.
100%, yeah.
People know. You know. So even though, if you're not an avid book reader, I would say just come in and have a look around and see what is in here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because there could be something that catches your eye. You know.
And we are like improving our object lending collection as well.
Okay.
So a lot of libraries have been getting stuff to lend out, like we lend out books. So all summer we have had skateboards available for people to borrow for, I think it's 2 weeks at a time instead of 3.
Okay.
And that has been really successful. We've had a lot of kids be really excited about that, because it's a more expensive, you know, toy.
Yeah.
And they come back in just as good shape. And then once we actually get some snow, we're hoping to put out the snowshoes that we have that people can take home with them and use for 3 weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Once again, a library is a lot more than what you would think a library would be. It is what you
Absolutely,
think it
yeah.
would be, but man, it's a lot more.
Yeah.
Congratulations on what you've done and what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you've done a fabulous job.
No, we're all really proud of the staff.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, my guest it's been great. It's Grace Stairs. Now, Grace is the acting director here at the library. Come on in and see Grace, and like you say, come yourself and lose yourself in a book. You may be lost for a week or so, but come on in. I'm John Higgins. Awful glad to be with you. See you later.